Hey guys, this is Elena, Seungeun Lee from We Learn to Share. Welcome to the video of AP Latin. In this video, we're going to go over Virgil's Aeneid, Book 1 from line 34 to 849. And in this section, you're going to see how Aeneas and the Trojans set sail from Sicily for Italy as they hope happy at the prospect of the end of their wanderings. However, Juno over here gives a bitter soliloquy, chaffing at the apparent failure of her plans to keep Aeneas and Trojans from reaching Italy. Okay, so let's start from the first line. It says, Vix e conspectu siculae telluris in autum vera dabant laeti. And we have the verb dabant, but before we have the adverb wix, which means hardly. So we're gonna say hardly, and then you have e conspectu siculae telluris, and this is e conspectu, out of the sight of Siculae terris, the Sicilian lands. And you can see they're generative, right? So heartily, out of the sight of Sicilian land, comma, and you can see that lighty happily, and you have dabant, sailing, or giving or spreading. So they, meaning the Trojans, they were happily spreading what's vela, their sails, and you have in autumn, into the deep sea, and so you can see the lighty over here is nominative plural, and this kind of shows how happily the Aeneas and the Trojans set sail from Sicily, because they think that they can find a new land, and they just escape from this war, right? So they say they're really happily, sailing out of the shores. However, let's look what happens. And you can see that ruebant, and they were rushing. You have spumas, meaning the foams. And you have salis. And salis is genitive. So you can say that the foams of the salty seawater. Iria, this is ablative means with bronze. And they also have cum, and you can see that cum over here will be translated into when. When, Juno. And you have servans, and that is the subject of that is right? Servans is a present participle meaning keeping. Keeping on what? Keeping a iterum vulnus, which means the eternal wound. An eternal wound. And you have ablative place su pectore, under her hurt. And locutua is this kind of message, so just apply that, and this means spoke. And you have haik, these things, these words. Secum, for herself. And Iria again here is ablative means. And you can see that salis over here is also a synecdoche, because this represents the whole ship. And then not the whole ship, the whole sea, by saying the salty water. And spuma salis over here could be alliteration. And now let's move on to the next part. Let's see what Juno says. So she says, Mene incepto desistere victam, nec posse Italia tecurum avectere regem. So you can say that I, you should put ne in front of me. So that I, victam, having been defeated, comma, desistere, should cease And you have incepto, from my undertaking. And then you have neck, right? Nor. You have posse, that I cannot. Awetere, another infinitive, take away. Or turn away. You have regem tecurum, tecurorum, which means the king of the Troy, meaning Aeneas, the king of Trojans. Italia, out of separation from Italy. You have quipe, indeed. Vector fatis, and this means I am forbidden, vector, and fatis, by the fates. So you see how victim ... mene over here having been defeated. This is a hyperbaton, and you have incepto and Italia as your ablative separation. And you can also see exclamatory infinitive plus accusative subject structure here. So really you can see how Juno is really kind of being angry, right? She's angry because she cannot seize, or she cannot forbid the Trojans, Aeneans, to come from coming to Italy. She can do nothing about it because of the fate. She's blocked by the fate. And then it says, Palasne exuere classem arvium atque ipsos potuit submergere ponto unius noxam et furias aeques oleri. So you have ne again, and you turn ne in front of here. So it's like was, Pallas, meaning Minerva or Athens, potuit, able, exuere, to burn out. You have classem arium, the Greek fleets, atque, and potuit, was she able to. You have submergere, meaning to drown or make sink. Ipsos, themselves, meaning the Greeks. You have ponto, on the sea, comma, unisom noxam et furias aeques oeleri. You have ob, meaning because or on account of. On account of unius, right? Of one man. And furias. And also the anger or madness, again, of one man. And you have the name Ajax Oleus. So you can see that potuit over here, plus you have exuere and submergere as your infinitive. And ponto is ablative of place, where. And Ajax here, just a background story. So Pallas or Minerva or Athena, the god of wisdom and warcraft, were really angry at this man called Ajax because he raped Cassandra, or she tried to rape Cassandra in the temple of Minerva. So Minerva was obviously really angry, and she did something to punish him. And let's look what she has done. Pallas. So ipsa, so she herself, meaning Pallas, right? And she has inaklata, having hurled. And you have rapidum ignem, the swift fire. Of, you always, that's Jupiter, and that's genitive. E nubibus, and from the clouds. And you have queques, it's both ... and this ekit will be both scattered. The rates, the ships. And everted, overturned. Ichor, the seas. Ventis, by winds, by the means of winds. And Yakotata over here was a deponent participle that modifies ipsa, meaning a palace yourself. And ventis was, again, ablative means, by the means of winds. Then you have illum experiantem transfixo pectore flammas turbine corriput, sculpto, scopulo que infixit acuto. So first you could have corriput as your verb. So she snatched Ilium, that man, meaning Ajax, who raped Cassandra in her temple. Illum experivantem flammas. So it will be that man, comma, breathing out experivantem. Breathing out what? Flammas, flames. Transfixo pectore, with his pierced heart. Turbine, by the whirlwind, or the means, ablative means. And in fixit, she fixed him. And you have scopulo acuto, fixed him on a sharp crack. So this is basically the whole speech of Juno over here, kind of, infers or refers to Pallas and talks about what she has done to this man, really named Ajax, to punish him, to do all these like really terrible things because of the terrible thing he has done. And then Juno was trying to say that, even Pallas did this, but why can't I? Because, as we're going to look at right now, because she's the queen of the gods. So you have asked ego, but I, quai, who in Keto proceed, diwom regina, proceed as the queen of the gods. And you have que, and you have et, and you have soror et conjux, both sister, and conjux, wife, Eos of Jupiter. And you have gerobella, that's our expression, meaning wage wars. And you have una gente, right? With a single people or tribe. And then you would have the accusative duration of time, tot annos, for so many years, or for so many years. So she's really complaining that even Pallas did all this to the man named Ajax, but I'm the queen. I'm supposed to be the most lofty and, the most powerful position, and have to have that power. But why can't I do this to Trojans? Why can't I block the Trojans and block Aeneas from coming into Italy? And you have et quisquam. So this means and, et, and quisquam is does anyone. And you have adoret. Adoret is a present tense. So worship. Does anyone worship? You have numem ionis, the divine will of Juno. And you have praetera, meaning hereafter, comma, and you have out or imponent, or before that you have supplex, as a suppliant. You can have quisquam put here again, so will anyone. You have imponent, place. And you have honorem, an offering. And you have aris, on her altars. And you have imponent over here is a future tense, and adored over here is a present tense. So keep in mind of the difference of tense. And so in this whole video, we can see how the Trojans and the Aeneas, they set out of Italy, right? They set out of the Sicilian lands, into the deep sea. And then basically Juno was watching all of them and what happens to them. And so she was really just really grumbling and really she was really frustrated because of this whole situation, because she, who is supposed to have the most lofty power and the most powerful rights, because she wants to block the Trojans from coming into Italy. So she wants to do that. But even though she's like the sister, and even though if she's like the wife of of Jupiter and is the queen of the gods, she can't do what Pallas has done to Ajax, and she's very frustrated about that. And so in the next video, we're gonna look more precariously on how what Juno does to realize or actualize her deep groans and her frustration.